Chapter 22, Section 2, Interactive Reader, pages 337 through 340, 16 points. Climate. Climate zones. Key ideas. As you read this section, keep these questions in mind. What are the characteristics of the 3 types of tropical climates? What are the characteristics of the 5 types of mid-latitude climates? What are the characteristics of the 3 types of polar climates? Why can city climates differ from rural climates? Page 337. Which area has a drier climate? Northern Australia or North Africa? The country of Belize is located in Central America. Southern Belize receives about 160 centimeters of rain each year. In which tropical climate would you classify Southern Belize? Explain. What are climate zones? Highlight. Climate zones are areas on Earth with different temperature ranges and amounts of precipitation. Continue highlighting. Earth has 3 major climate zones: tropical, middle latitude, and polar. Continue highlighting. Each zone has a specific temperature range. Continue highlighting. The amount of precipitation within each zone varies. Continue highlighting. Therefore, each zone has several types of climates. What are the types of tropical climates? Highlight. Regions at or near the equator that have high temperatures have tropical climates. Tropical climates have highlight an average monthly temperature of at least 18 degrees Celsius, even during the coldest months. There are 3 main tropical climates as shown below. Climate, rainforest, highlight rainforest. Temperature and precipitation. Small temperature range, annual rainfall, highlight, about 200 centimeters. Dense, lush vegetation, high biodiversity. Examples, Southeast Asia, and highlight, the Amazon River Basin in South America. Highlight, desert, large temperature range, hot days and cold nights, annual highlight rainfall of less than 25 centimeters. Description, little to no vegetation, organisms adapted to dry conditions. Highlight, examples, North Africa, Southwestern Asia. Climate, highlight, savanna. Small temperature range, annual highlight, rainfall of about 50 centimeters, alternating wet and dry periods. Open grasslands with clumps of drought-resistant shrubs. Examples, parts of the following areas: South America, Africa, Southeast Asia, highlight, Northern Australia. Question 1. Which area has a drier climate, Northern Australia or North Africa? Answer, North Africa. North Africa. Question 2. The country of Belize is located in Central America. Southern Belize receives about 160 centimeters of rain each year. In which tropical climate would you classify Belize? Explain. Rainforest. Rainforest. Because it receives just under 200 centimeters of rain per year. Because it receives just under 200 centimeters of rain per year. Again, rainforest because it receives just under 200 centimeters of rain per year. Page 338. What general conditions exist in a middle latitude climate? What is one difference between humid, subtropical, and Mediterranean climates? How are Mediterranean climates and savanna climate similar? How are they different? What are the types of middle latitude climates? Highlight. Middle latitude climates have more moderate temperatures than tropical climates. Continue highlighting. They have an average maximum temperature below 18 degrees Celsius in the coldest month and above 10 degrees Celsius in the warmest month. There are 5 main middle latitude climates. Climate. Highlight. Marine West Coast. Small annual temperature range between 60 centimeters and 150 centimeters of precipitation each year. Deciduous trees and dense forests. Mild winters and summers. Example, the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Steppe. Large annual temperature range. Annual precipitation of less than 40 centimeters. Drought-resistant vegetation. Cold, dry winters. Warm, wet summers. Example, the Great Plains of the United States. Humid continental. Large annual temperature range. Annual precipitation of greater than 75 centimeters. Wide variety of vegetation and evergreen trees. Variable weather. Example, the northeastern United States. Highlight, humid subtropical. Highlight, large annual temperature range. Annual precipitation of 75 to 165 centimeters. Broadleaf and evergreen trees. High humidity. Example, the southeastern United States. Highlight, Mediterranean. Highlight, small annual temperature range. Average annual precipitation about 40 centimeters. Broadleaf and evergreen trees. Long dry summers. Mild wet winters. Example, areas near the Mediterranean Sea and along the coast of Central and Southern California. What are the types of polar climates? The climates in the polar regions are called polar climates. Highlight, these climates have very low temperatures. The table on the next page describes the 3 types of polar climates. Question number 3, what general conditions exist in a middle latitude climate? More moderate temperatures than tropical climates. More moderate temperatures than tropical climates. Below 18 degrees Celsius in the coldest month. Below 18 degrees Celsius in the coldest month. Above 10 degrees Celsius in the warmest. Above 10 degrees Celsius in the warmest. Again, more moderate temperatures than tropical climates, below 18 degrees Celsius in the coldest month, above 10 degrees Celsius in the warmest. Question 4. What is one difference between humid subtropical and Mediterranean climates? Humid subtropical has large annual temperature range. Humid subtropical has a large annual temperature range. Mediterranean has a small temperature range. Mediterranean has a small temperature range. Again, humid subtropical has a large annual temperature range. Mediterranean has a small temperature range. Question 5, how are Mediterranean climate and savanna climate similar? How are they different? Similar, they have a small temperature range. They have a small temperature range. Different, the types of plants that grow there. Different, the types of plants that grow there. Page 339. Certain areas in the state of Alaska experience high temperatures in the summer and very low temperatures in the winter. What type of climate do these areas have? What is the general relationship between amount of paved surface and temperature? Characteristics of polar climates. Highlight subarctic. Highlight largest annual temperature range, 63 degrees Celsius. Annual precipitation of 25 to 50 centimeters. Evergreen trees. Brief cool summers, long cold winters. Tundra. Average temperature below 4 degrees Celsius. Annual precipitation of about 25 centimeters. Treeless plains. 9 months of temperatures below freezing. Polar ice cap. Average temperature below 0 degrees Celsius. Low annual precipitation, less than 25 centimeters. Few living things. Temperatures below freezing all year. High winds. Much of the land and ocean covered by thick sheets of ice year-round. Question 6. Certain areas in the state of Alaska experience high temperatures in the summer and very low temperatures in the winter. What type of climate do these areas have? Answer, subarctic. Subarctic. What are local climates? Highlight. The climate of a small area is called a microclimate. Continue highlighting. Microclimates are influenced by vegetation density and human-made structures. Continue highlighting. Human-made structures absorb solar energy and radiate it as heat. Vegetation does not radiate as much heat energy. Therefore, average temperatures may be a few degrees higher in cities than in rural areas. Highlight the line in the middle of the chart. Under the chart, highlight urban areas have more pavement and less vegetation than suburban and rural areas have. Elevation of bodies of water can also affect local climates. Highlight. As elevation increases, the temperature in an area decreases. Continue highlighting. Water absorbs and releases heat more slowly than land. Therefore, water bodies can moderate the temperature of nearby land. Continue highlighting. Large bodies of water can also increase precipitation. Continue highlighting. Areas near water have a smaller range of temperatures and more precipitation than other locations at the same latitude. Question 7. What is the general relationship between amount of paved surface and temperature? More paved surfaces lead to higher temperatures. Again, more paved surfaces lead to higher temperatures. Page 340. On the graph below, write the names of the following climates to compare their relative temperatures and amounts of precipitation. Humid continental, polar ice cap, savanna, subarctic, tropical desert, tropical rainforest, tundra. One climate has already been placed on the graph for you. On the top left, your answer should be tropical desert, the box by itself. The answer should be tropical desert. Bottom left, your answer should be polar ice cap. Polar ice cap. Second box up, your answer should be tundra. Tundra. Third box up, your answer should be subarctic. Subarctic. Fourth box up, your answer should be savanna. Savanna. Fifth box up, your answer should be humid continental. Humid continental. And the answer you were given was tropical rainforest. Question 2, what are 4 factors that influence microclimates? Answer can be found on page 339. Vegetation density. Vegetation density. Human-made structures. Human-made structures. Elevation, large water bodies, Again, vegetation density, human-made structures, elevation, and large water bodies. Question 3, why are cities often a few degrees warmer than the surrounding rural areas? Again, answer can be found on page 339. There is pavement and there are structures. There is pavement and there are structures that absorb energy from the sun. That absorb energy from the sun and radiate it as heat. and radiate it as heat. Again, there is pavement and there are structures that absorb energy from the sun and radiate it as heat. Question number 4, answer can be found on page 338. The lowest average monthly temperature in an area is 12 degrees Celsius. Its highest average monthly temperature is 17.5 degrees Celsius. In which climate zone is the area most likely located? Answer, marine west coast. Again, marine west coast.